Alright, it's recording. This is Jackie, and I will be interviewing Emily on her high school experiences. So, tell us one of your favorite or most memorable experiences in high school, Chim. Feel free to stand up and show.
What?
Feel free to show up and show. Feel free to stand up and show us examples. Because tripping.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's start from my freshman year. I don't know, I guess I had a lot of friends. It was a good year. Sophomore year, nothing good happened. Actually nothing happened exciting. Also, my high experience, but just little random things, I guess. Had a friend who we had a class together, not really a class, but we would take out students in the counselor's office, and we would just roam the halls. And then this one time, like, we would play tricks on the teachers, and he would we'd be walking in the hallway, and the teacher would be passing, and then he'd walk and then trip himself, and the teacher would right away turn around like, oh my god, are you okay? And then I'd be like, oh, pretending like he's hurt, and then he's like, oh no, I'm good. And then once I would leave, we'd be laughing at me. It's so funny. So that's one good memory. And it's actually the only one I can remember. That was a classic.
Do you have any favorite lunches? What good can you remember about the food during lunch?
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, Carlos. I did so many tricks to him. One time, he was drinking a carton of chocolate milk, and I went like this, and I fell all over him. He was so mad. Then when we got out of the cafeteria, before leaving, he threw me on top of a table, and everybody looked at me. It was so funny though. Another time, he was getting on the chair, and I pulled it off him, and he fell. That was cool too. He was mad. Probably a bitch. Another one was a friend. It was raining, and since we live in our school was in the desert pretty much, it had been raining, and there was where the school busway, where they made it, there's this friend who was walking by herself, and I guess there's this bar. I don't know if she tripped over her foot, and she literally fell in a big pool of mud. By the time she got in next to me in the bus, I looked at her and I'm like, dude, what happened to you? And she was like, I fell in mud. And I was like, how'd you do that? She was like, I tripped. Wow. And I just remember laughing but holding it in because you could tell she was about to cry. And she was like, don't laugh at me. So I was like, fine. So I kind of turned my head to the window and I started giggling just to get it out of my system. But man, she was soaked. It was cool. I wonder if she remembers though. Well, I don't know. She probably doesn't. I don't talk to her, so I wouldn't know. So.
What was your favorite class? Do you remember what your favorite class was? Like your friends in there and everything?
My favorite class, I would say, was art, lunch, and
Look at she's in the garden now.
jungle woman. Yeah, I would say just those two. And in art class, I had a bunch of cool people like Ophelia. Well, it's actually Ophelia, but I call her Ophelia. Yeah, she got gum stuck in her pants once, and I couldn't stop laughing. She remembers that because I bring it up. This guy named Derek, who was the biggest pervert and always talked about how big his penis was. It was pretty funny and gross at the same time. And lunch, we'll just call us a bunch of other weird nerds. Not even nerds, they were just weird pigs.
Mexicans.
They weren't even smart, but they were pretty cool. I was a nobody, so I kind of just hung out with the skaters, but never had any skaters besides my freshman year. I kind of just blended in with the other nobodies. And another funny thing is that there's this long story about my fiance before we were just kind of friends, I guess. He invited me to a party, but it turned out that his friend was the one that liked me. And I went to his party with my brother and his wife now, but they weren't married then, so. So anyway. anyways, I went to his party. I think he turned 17. I was 16. And I wrote him this letter saying that I liked him and I thought he was cute, whatever. So he writes me back and I'm like, oh, a letter, all excited. So then by the time I read it, it turned out that he was like, oh, I don't like you. It was my friend who liked you. And I was like, oh, damn, that sucked. But anyways, I think I had a boyfriend then.
Oh.
And so I was like, whatever. And now, after like 2 years later, I ended up started dating him. And now he's like my fiance. And it's about 4 years later. And yeah, that's where I'm at now.
So this guy that wrote you a letter that said he didn't like you is
Yeah.
now your fiance.
Yep. Pretty weird how things work out. So, and I always had a thing that I was like, oh, like I've always liked these guys that started with the letter like Daniel or Danny, and then
I started with the letter Daniel or Danny. You mean the letter D?
well, whatever. And then like I always thought, man, I'm never gonna date a guy named Danny because like I've had bad luck with him. But then it's like, wow, I'm engaged to one. How weird. Kind of funny in a way. I don't know.
Positively.
So, let's ask Jackie questions. Jackie
Wait,
is
you should start a new video for that.
No, it's. Shut up.
Because it's already on 6 and you can only upload up to 10 minutes on YouTube.
Fine.